L'chaim, everybody. Welcome aboard. Ooh, it's a bit hot. Give me 1 second. All right, l'chaim. We're learning the Maimer, the Hasidic discourse, said in 1973, this Shabbos. All Israel all of Israel has a portion in the world to come. And that is talking about the time of Tchias HaMesim, resurrection of the dead. There's two time periods, Messianic period. The one that is about to come, the first part, and yes, we believe in perfect faith, coming Mashiach. And even though he may tarry, we wait for him every day. For the Messianic redemption, a world of good, a world without greed, a world without famine, without war. That's the first part. Second part, resurrection of the dead. There's no condition to getting that except that you believe in it. You don't believe it, say, kind of makes sense. Okay. Yet when it comes to Gan Eden, the Garden of Eden, you got to deserve it. It's conditional. Why would that be? Where Gan Eden, Garden of Eden is only a temporary place. The souls have been waiting there temporarily, thousands of years, and those that just passed on for the final redemption and the world, Olam Haba, the world to come. They're waiting for that time period to come back because it's going to be a loftier, greater place. Yeah, no condition made for that except for believing and getting Gan Eden is conditional. It's a process that a person goes through after they finish their time in this world. Furthermore, we need to understand is that Gan Eden, Garden of Eden, is only souls, right? When our body is no longer fused with a soul goes to Gan Eden, again, through the process. But Tchias HaMesim is going to be a soul and a body. It's counterintuitive. You would think it'd be the opposite. The loftier, the greater place should be a place of just souls. So that's our questions that we're working with this, and we continue. It's written, Zois ha-Torah Adam. This is the Torah, man, Adam. In other words, the Torah is metaphorically like a person. Just as a person is made up of a body and a soul, so likewise, the Torah has a body and a soul. In general, it's a distinction between Torah and mitzvahs. The 248 mitzvahs that we observe, positive commandments, are juxtaposed to 248 limbs of the king, as they're called. In other words, metaphorically speaking, God has limbs, metaphorically. 248 of them. And because of an expression of each limb of God, as it were, is a mitzvah. 248 of them, positive commandments. Which is similar to the limbs of the body, right? the limbs of my body. I raise my hand because I so desire. The limb is completely nullified to the will of the individual. Metaphorically, the will of God is expressed in a limb. One limb, two limbs, 248 limbs that are completely nullified to his will, meaning completely an expression of his will. Other when I put my hand to scratch my head, right? I use my hand to take the coffee and say l'chaim. What is my limb doing? It's manifesting my will. So likewise, God has a will that's being manifest in 248 different ways. Big shout out to Aryeh Weiser back in New York. He was with us for a few weeks here in Montreal celebrating Pesach. Good to see you watching. Likewise, Patricia, shout out. Just because they wrote something, so saying hi to them. So that is the idea of a mitzvah. We learned this at length in Tanya, of course. Torah, on the other hand, is like the blood of the soul, the vitality. It draws vitality. And what does Torah do? It draws vitality to every mitzvah that we do, right? We put on tefillin, we pray, we give charity, we observe the Shabbos that's coming. When we study Torah, it's giving vitality to that mitzvah. We're studying about Shabbos, so you get vitality. As a matter of fact, we're learning in Maimonides, Rambam teaching Shabbos. Everybody should join and learn these laws now because you get the basis of the observance of Shabbos. Very important. Every day at around 10 o'clock. Of course, we've got much till then. A shout out to Marga Lazata in Poland. So just as metaphorically, the blood gives vitality to the limbs. So Torah gives vitality to the mitzvahs that we do. Now, with this, then we understand that mitzvahs then are bound up by time and space, right? In other words, Shabbos is in the seventh day. Can't keep Shabbos on the third day, by the way, right? The observance of Sukkot is in a space called a Sukkah, right? And so on and so forth. Bound up with time and space. Torah, on the other hand, is beyond time and space. It's beyond time and space. Therefore, you could study something of Torah you could study the laws of bringing an offering, and it's considered as if you brought the offering, even though in time and space you didn't bring the offering on the altar. But the study of it is like bringing that. Right? So, and all of this then, to understand, since the body is a physical thing, therefore, it is bound by time and space. Therefore, every mitzvah is bound by time and space. For those who were privileged to be at my Pesach Seder, no, because it's my Seder. But at our Seder, because we do it right. So we ate matzah. So it wasn't just about the nice idea of matzah. You had to eat a physical matzah. Not only had to eat physical matzah, but you had to eat a certain amount. Not only had a certain amount, but you had to eat in a certain amount of time. And I was, people saw me crunching away, like, as if there's no tomorrow. Because there is no tomorrow for the mitzvah. The mitzvah is right now, this moment, had to be done within 4 minutes, preferably 6 max. And it was a lot of matzah for those, especially if they have a Seder plate, and so on and so forth. Right? So very much bound by time and space. The neshama, that's the physical body, that's a mitzvah. The neshama, the soul, on the other hand, is spiritual and it's beyond time and space. And again, that's the way it is with Torah and mitzvahs, the distinction between them. This is also the distinction, not just in Torah and mitzvahs themselves, the physical versus the spiritual, the body versus the soul, but also the person who does the study of Torah and the person who fulfills the mitzvah. Oh, shout out to Liba. She isn't doing well. And to Andrew, who's on in Davida, or on Zoom. But for the person who studies Torah, it's more of a neshama engagement, as opposed to a person who is fulfilling the mitzvah. It's more of a bodily engagement. Now, it's known that Torah is greater than mitzvahs. The way they're drawn in a revealed way. Right? They're greater. As the soul is greater than the body, as the blood gives life to the limbs of the body, right? You get that in a revealed way. However, in their root source, mitzvahs are greater than Torah study. Interesting. Mitzvahs are greater than Torah study in their root source, being the mitzvahs are greater. How do we understand that? Well, Torah is Chachmasod Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is God's wisdom. Mitzvahs, on the other hand, is God's will. Right? Will is greater than wisdom. How so? How so? Anybody? Okay.
Because your will, it's precisely what you want. Right?
Yeah. That's what will means.
Yeah,
right.
It's more precise. Your wisdom is more open.
Maybe the other way around.
Right?
Maybe the other way around. But yeah, not that what you're saying is not wrong, but that if anything, then that should be the other way around. Then that wisdom is greater than. If it's more open, more right.
Because wisdom,
wisdom is a specific wisdom of something. Will is also maybe a specific will for something, but it's all encompassing of the individual. When you want it, what of you wants it? All of you. Like, is it only your brain that wants it? Is it only your heart that wants it? No, you want it. When you know something, when you have the wisdom of something, well, what is it? That's your brain. Now, the brain is, the highest point of you, but, right, it is yet an all-encompassing part of you. That's why, metaphorically, it's Kesser, it's the crown above the head. It crowns the head. It encompasses the head because it's greater than the head, greater than the intelligence. And you see that further. You may know something And that will compel you towards something, but not necessarily, because maybe you don't feel it. But what if you know that something's good, but you don't want it? Guess what? You're not going to engage in it. But what if you want something and you know that it's not good for you, but you really want it? It's going to override your intelligence as a generality, right? It's a generality. Because will is stronger. Strong-willed, right, is greater than strong-minded. Because will is greater than intelligence in the power of it. In the power. Right? So it just plain and simple. You might feel love towards somebody, and you may know their goodness, but you have no desire for them. Guess what? You're not going to be in a relationship with them, right? You're not going to be in a relationship with them. But if you really desire the person, the relationship with them, right? Even though intellectually you know that, and emotionally maybe you're you're not so, but intellectually, at least, for sure, intellectually, and guess what? You're going to have the relationship because you really want it. It's much stronger. So this is all a metaphor for us to appreciate and understand that mitzvahs in their root source is greater than Torah, because mitzvahs are an embodiment of the divine will. Torah is an embodiment of divine wisdom. Yet when it comes down here in a revealed way, Torah is greater, because Torah is the lifeline of the mitzvah. And you see that when you don't know how to do a mitzvah properly, you didn't learn about it, you don't appreciate it, guess what? Your mitzvah is empty. It's lifeless. It's like a body without a soul. So in that respect, the Torah is greater. Right? On the other hand, the very fact that it's giving life to the mitzvah is an indication that the mitzvah is the goal, not the Torah. The Torah is there to give the life to the mitzvah, on some level at least, right? Because the Torah is the explanation, and the explanation and the explanation of the mitzvah. So therefore, the mitzvah is greater, right? For the sake of the mitzvah, at least on some level. All right, folks? More to come. What's this mean? Well, stay tuned. All right, we'll see you soon by Chumash and Rashi. All right, God